All right. All right, now you guys have to behave. So it's been can I say a fantastic week? Can we all say that? And
Yes.
even a better weekend for everybody that bought their ticket to APL Planet 2021 and stayed up for 48 hours like some of us did.
Man, I'm recovering from that.
Y'all were texting me constantly, and I think I fell asleep twice, like for 20 minutes.
I was up all night. Okay.
Yeah, I kept the sound up. Well, you were working, so Randy was the only one that had to stay awake.
Yeah, I was working at watching the thing.
Yeah, so you got a real cheesy job if that's all you can do there is yeah, I take it being supervisor, you have your own office and you can just go in there and do
Oh, every once in a while I got called away.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, at one point I do
Pretty
remember
much.
saying, did you guys catch that?
I got
And
monitored.
Randy sends me a message back, I got called to work. Like, I'm so sorry. Tina and Kelly being up on stage was absolutely incredible. So anyway, I actually have, who holds an agenda for this, but I have something I absolutely have to show you guys because this is so cool. I'm going to screen share and I want to, okay, come on, screen share. Oh, now my computer froze.
Well, you're still moving on the Zoom.
I am. Well, my
Yep.
computer froze. Literally, I don't. Okay, so maybe I can go back over here. I'm still moving on the Zoom.
Yep.
Wow, wonder what that's all about.
Aliens.
No kidding. Let me.
Oh, you're
stop
frozen
my-
on my screen.
It must be the cold in Palmer.
Wow, I can't get it to
Freezing the
do
internet.
anything.
On
I
my,
have.
on my screen, you got a snowman in the background. I don't know what's going on.
Now you're being. It
We
won't
can
even.
hear you, but not see
Oh,
you.
there we go. All right. So let me get rid of that. I'm going to screen share. Yay.
There you go.
Oh, now it's preparing my options to, I'm going to cancel my task in. Okay. Oh, and I turned off my mouse. You guys, we're all going crazy here. No, just me up here. So I want to congratulate Ron Cooper for bringing on Nancy Craig. And she came on as Diamond, and we just presented her with a really good surprise that I can't tell all you guys about at all. But Ron's really excited about it and is going to reap the benefits from that as well. So congratulations and thank you for coming on board, Nancy. Nancy is she takes homes, purchases them, and flips them. And sounds to me that you got the perfect job and you're down there in Texas. And if you're on here, right? You're on here somewhere. I know you're on here. Can you unmute Nancy and say anything? I just want to say hello.
Here I am.
There you are. There she is. So Nancy, tell us what it is you do, because it's pretty cool. Another woman doing that.
Well, you know, the older I get, the less I want to do all of the work myself. But then it's kind of a goal to be driven to do it myself, just to prove I can still do it all. I can do just about anything from sheetrock to tile to putting flooring down to painting, texturing. You name it, I can do it.
The perfect
that's-
wife.
So I'll be calling you when I'm ready to start my other home up here. I used to be a home builder too, but if I can
Right.
call another woman up here and we can collaborate on it, man,
Well,
that'd be a hoot.
you just have to say when and I'll be on the plane.
All right, that sounds great. Well, Nancy, thank you so much for coming on board. I know you're going to be a great asset to the team. And Ron just speaks very highly of you. And after having you on the phone this afternoon, I'm so excited for you. Can't say a word, but I'm just so excited for you.
I am too. Yeah. It's
Okay.
incredible. The opportunities that are laying in front of me is just incredible.
It is, and we all have we all have the same opportunity, and it just depends upon, you know, who and what each person's gonna do. So thank you
Right.
so much. And I just wanted to bring that up to everybody there. And some other things that have really been happening in, okay, now I can't get my computer to my computer. There we go. Let's see if I can get it to do its thing here. So, Kathy's on here from Alaska. Kathy, I hope you got your message there, right?
I did. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I literally got George on the phone, and yours was the first of a list of things I had to talk to him about. And he took care of you first, and he says, oh, it should be at her door tomorrow. And I'm like, can you prove that to me?
So excited. So
Yeah.
excited. I'm
Yeah,
dying
so-
without this stuff.
yeah. So, and just so you guys
Awesome.
know, there's a big, huge shipment coming in. It's about 20 to 80,000. He couldn't remember which is going to what area, but we have two different shipping carriers now, and there's a bunch coming in. So we won't be less of any product anymore. And that, I got to tell you, in most companies, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, in most companies, if something like this happened, it can literally make the company just disappear, right? Yeah. This company's 10 years old. It's never had a shipping issue like this, but then again, they weren't prepared for what the United States was able to do, correct? So that now they have everything. And the thing is, they can make 250,000 boxes a day, twice in 2 8-hour shifts, twice a day they can do that. So 500,000 boxes a day, they have plenty in inventory. So they're shipping a whole bunch of that over here, so that never happens again. They really had no idea, not one iota, that the United States was going to pull off more than $1 million in sales in the month of September, when we've only been here for 15 months. So
We burnt down that bridge.
yeah, that we burnt that bridge real fast. So that is a good problem to have. But the fact of the matter is, APL Go, the owner of this company, they jumped on it right away. They took care of the issues, and everything's back and go again. But really, that could have, any other company, you know, people just go, not here. So I'm really happy that we have what we have. And after seeing what we saw this weekend, how many people were in tears a few times? Ron. I mean, Tina and Kelly's story, I've heard that story before, and it's still just, it just shakes you. Travis and Summer Flaherty, I've heard their story before too, but Travis is usually telling it. And I'm going to tell you, Summer has a way with words. And the way she presented that, I've got goosebumps right now. I had no idea that the car that they rented when they were going through bankruptcy and everything with 4 kids was a Volkswagen. I mean, and he was working a job, and I mean, the story was just so intense, and I just got tears, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And what was that, like 4 o'clock in the morning for us? And you know, Travis's story, I'm not Travis, but Kari's story with Jennifer telling it. I mean, you guys, what I'm getting at is everybody has a story. And today, for the first time, I mentioned to Denmark what my story was. And I don't know that you were on there yet, Ron, but you guys know, I went through a real crappy divorce, big deal. You know, it's not like something new. But because of that, I didn't want to get stuck with the taxes from a $1.8 million ranch that I owned. I did the smart thing and I put it in his name before. I mean, lots of good things happened, but I stopped paying my taxes that was 2008. So what year is it now? Yeah. So when I started, and I've been afraid of it ever since. I even told Tina and Kelly about it, and they said, Sherry, believe me, they ain't looking for you. So that was, that felt a little good, but I have been so embarrassed about that I never said anything, because I'm used to making so much money and having everything taken care of, being very well organized. And that it happened, you guys. And because I joined APL Go, which, I'm the one that said, I'm done. I really don't want to do this. You guys have heard my story. I don't want to do this again. And when it was presented to me the way that it was, the donut or the apple, which would you prefer? This tastes like candy, blah, blah, blah. There's people making $350,000 a month already. It's new. We're the only ones that have it. I go, okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Tuesday. I went ahead and jumped in, and I came in at a low level. Within a week or 10 days, I was able to go up to diamond at $3,000. Within 60 days, reached corporate director. And now this is July 29th, you guys. Before August 15th, I had enough to pay all my back taxes, everything. And it wasn't pretty. So that felt really good, but I have been very embarrassed to even talk about that. Kelly told me the other day before they left, he goes, Sherry, I don't know why you don't talk about your taxes story. Everybody has a story. That is one of the biggest things I've ever seen anybody do, because you've been afraid of it for so long. So there you go, you guys, you got the story. Even my daughter was excited when I was able to write that check. Well, put in my credit card. So my debit card, by the way, my debit card. So the money was in the bank. So you guys have, I know Tuesday's like, so we all have a story. And, there's some, each of you put your story together. I'd love to hear Ron's story, because I know you didn't want to go again either. I mean, you waited a year to jump on board here, right? You've got a story. Daniel's got a story. Randy, oh my gosh, Randy's story, I know part of it. And you guys, Randy lived in Ketchikan, Alaska. Same place. Yeah, same place that I had my first daughter in 1976. John's got a heck of a story. I'm not going to tell it, but I know the beginning of his and why he wants to do this. And it's happening. It's happening. Clee, hi there. Clee has an incredible story of being able to keep the family house, the cabin in Washington. Everybody has a story. So if you guys could, I know I give you these little tasks every week to do something, but write your story down, have it on paper. And if you want, it would be really awesome for you guys to share those just on our Camp Chair Crew Facebook page, okay? Nobody else will see them but us, but I think it's important that you guys share your story. I wrote mine and put it right on my Facebook page. And it's funny, my family's like, my mom and sisters were so disconnected. And I actually got a text from one of my sisters. I didn't know that was you. I didn't know that happened. I go, yeah, you didn't pay attention. But they loved reading the story. So there's some other things I'd like to talk to you guys about. So something, let me see, where did I see this? Maybe it was from Big Al, but there's weird, and there's even more weird and bizarre. Have you seen that, Tuesday? Did you see that? Was it Big Al's or something? Well, this is weird. Distributors, and this is what brought this up, was the event in Moscow. that had to have cost a pretty penny to get there. I looked up a ticket and it was like $1,100 round trip, which really isn't that big of a deal. But you would think I'd be able to fly from Anchorage to Randy. Why can't we do this? You'd think you'd fly from Anchorage to Moscow. I mean, I can see it. It's right over there.
You gotta fly. Best you can do is fly to Seattle and then you go direct flight over to Moscow.
Actually,
via
all the
Aeroflot.
flights, well, that might be. I didn't check that one, but the flight goes from here to Denver to Frankfurt and then to Moscow. So, but we'll be there
Frankfurt.
next year.
Well, another one you can get is KLM. Yeah, KLM can go to Rotterdam, Amsterdam,
Yes. I've
and
been
then
there.
right over to St. Petersburg or Moscow.
Okay, you guys. So you write this down. You guys be taking notes because next year we're all going. You know, it is in Russia every single year, November 11th, well, 13th, but with the weekend, and we're going. You know, y'all not staying home this time. We're going. So
Private jet.
distributors, yep, distributors spend hundreds of dollars on products, services, advertising, travel, promoting, just to get prospects, and not a single dime on learning what to say to the prospects when they get them.
Yep.
Is that weird or what? So I don't know where I saw this, but I wrote it down a couple of weeks ago and I put it in my notes for today to share this with you guys. So we need to fix this, right? We need to fix this. What needs to be said to somebody? So here's a perfect example of what happened. In fact, it's been going on for the last 3 days, actually since last Friday. What do you say? How can we make it simple? What's your story? And you can't sell anything if you can't tell anything. Does that make sense? You can't sell anything if you can't tell anything, because how do they say that? Facts tell, stories sell. Stories, especially metaphors, work on the subconscious mind. I actually got that from Big Al. So stories, and that's what we're trying to convey. Is it a sale or is it a solution? So I call this guy up, and you know, I'm reaching out on Facebook and I connect with this guy, and he can barely talk, and he tells me that he's been looking for something to work online because blah 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 blah. So it's the same thing, you guys. You know, I know how to talk to people on the phone, and he was giving me every excuse in the book, and I thought, well, you're looking for something, so I'm going to be bold here, and you might hang up on me, but how many more times are you going to make excuses? I actually have something really awesome to show you, but let's be real here. How many times have you heard, and I've said this to every single person I've sponsored, how many times have you heard, this is so cool, this is the biggest thing, this is going to make you a lot of money, this is this. How many times have you heard that? And he goes, oh God, I'm so glad you're being honest. I'm so, can I be frank with you? And I said, and the guy's name is Richard. I said, yeah, Richard, be frank. You got to kind of break the ice there a little bit. So he says, yeah, I've heard that so many times. I just don't even know if anything is real anymore. And I said, good, then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to ask you to, let's just have a real conversation here. Are you on Facebook? And he goes, yeah, but I don't have anything there. And I said, well, I just want you to connect with me. Tell me the name and how I'm going to find you. And I connected with him, made a friend request. I want you to go to my Facebook page and I want you to check me out, check out what I put on there and see I'm a real person and I do what I say I'm going to do. And once you've done that, then let's connect again. He called me about 45 minutes ago. And yeah, and he says, you are real. You're the real deal. And I said, yeah. So I'm not going to ask you to get started right now, but I do want to send you a video that I did that kind of goes over this whole thing. And he goes, I already found you on YouTube. I've already seen that video. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I know what we're talking with here. So I told him my story, which he hadn't said, not unless he went way down on Facebook and saw that. And he said, that is amazing. I mean, I went from the 11 years old selling mistletoe on Brandstetter Lane to paying my taxes last year in like 5 minutes. And he says, but that's not real. I don't know what is. And I said, well, I'm not going to ask you to get started today. I want you to do some more, because he's real green. I want you to do some more checking out. And you guys, I think for the first time in a long time, I didn't push somebody to close. And I have a funny feeling when he called and I said, tomorrow's going to be a real busy day for me. So let's connect on Wednesday. And he says, well, Wednesday I've got medical and it's not going to be a good day for me. And I said, great. Then tell you what, you text me on Thursday. And he says, I absolutely will. You guys, it was stopping and telling a story that did it. And you guys know me, I'm a hard close, right? Right, Daniel?
Yes.
I'm a real hard close.
There's no doubt about it.
And I just after listening to those stories up on stage in Moscow, I just decided to sit back a minute and don't do the push. See what resonates better. And I know Ron can tell you every single person that he's talked to, he doesn't talk as fast as I do. Like, what do they say? You got to listen faster to hear me because I talk so fast. With Ron, he's calm, he's cool, very collected, brings up some really good reminders to people, brings up a why. And I don't know how many people you've sponsored so far, Ron, 8, 6, 8, 10. It just, you don't even know, do you? They just keep coming in. So with Nancy being the most recent. So with that being said, is there something else like maybe, oh, one more thing before I get started. Who does that to themselves? One more thing before I get started. I need to know all the science. I need to know what the drops taste like. I need to know this, that. Who is that? Nobody on here, right?
No.
That's Randy. I knew
Not
it.
me, said nobody.
Not me, said nobody. Right. So here's a good one for you. So during the heat of the space race in the 1960s, it's just a little, and you might know this, Daniel, because you're always into this. You're such a history buff. The U.S. National Aeronautics and the Space Administration needed a ballpoint pen, right? They needed a zero gravity pen that would work in the confines of the space capsule. Okay, they think that they needed a ballpoint pen. All right, so after considerable research and development, the astronaut pen was developed at the small cost of $1 million US. A pen. Maybe they made 6 of them, I don't know. The pen worked, and they also enjoyed the modest success of a little novelty thing that they gave out here on Earth. Well, the Soviet Union was faced with the same problem. They used a pencil. Do you guys get that? So if
Yes, they did.
they used a pencil
And grease pens.
Not cheaper.
and it worked. So are
But
we
that- but that-
waiting?
But that pencil would have cost at least $750,000. It was developed in the United States.
In the United States, right? So yes, you're absolutely right there. So are you waiting for the perfect video, the perfect, well, we don't use flip charts anymore, but the perfect PowerPoint, the perfect product sample, a carrying case to put it all in? We don't even do that anymore. What are you waiting for to go into action? Because we have everything and it's right here in your phone. Well, it's right here in your phone. And it's called Rapid Funnel. We have all the tools you need, the system that you need. So that's what I wanted to bring up today. I know all of you that are on here, you know about those tools, but I always have to bring up these little reminders because sometimes they catch me by surprise, especially that one about the ballpoint pen. I thought, oh, I've got to tell this one, that was good. So as you know, you heard this event this weekend that facts tell, and you didn't hear a whole lot on facts, did you? You just saw fun all day Saturday. And Sunday was stories. And I think we all got moved by that. So you guys, the request is everybody writes their story, even you too, Tuesday. Write your story and post it on Camp Chair Crew. Okay, everybody raise your right hand. Come on.
Question.
Yeah. Oh,
What
no,
if you don't
go ahead. Go ahead, Tuesday, and then I'll have you raise your right hand.
What if you don't have a story?
Oh, you have a story. I will help you with your story if you don't have a story, okay? I do have an answer to that, though. So everybody
can
raise your right
unleash-
hand.
We can unleash Michael Burnoff on her.
There we go. Everybody raise your right hand. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear.
I solemnly swear.
to put my story
Put
Put my story.
whether I have one or not.
on Camp Chair Crew
On Camp Chair Crew
this week.
Camp Chair
this week.
Now,
Crew.
I have never done that to you guys, but I have you recorded.
Tuesday, I'll make it easy for you. You can start out with, I am the girl that.
I am the girl that, thank you.
Yes. And up until now, right, Daniel?
Yep, that's
Up
correct.
until now, and Tuesday, I will help you with your story because I already know a lot about you and I'm pretty darn sure you've got a good story. But here's what I used to do because I didn't think I had a story. I used somebody else's.
Yeah.
And then when somebody else's got boring to me, because that wasn't me, I found my story.
Yeah.
And yeah, the thing about the taxes, that was a heck of a story. That happened. That kept me, that stopped me for years because I didn't want to make so much money that they find me or go after me or all that stuff that went on in my brain that should have never been there. Oh, Kathy, I love the picture you just put up. Woohoo! My sponsors. That's great. So I'll help you with your story if you need that Tuesday. But if you guys would just do that, I can't wait to hear Nancy's story. I know you got one, girlfriend. Clee, I know
I
you got-
do. I probably could write a book.
Well, all right, let's do that. Anybody else want to write a book?
I already did.
Okay, we can put all our stories together and we can write a book. But if you guys would put that on Camp Chair Crew, I think that is going to help you put it out there and it's going to get it out. And I think that is also going to help you when you're telling somebody about APL Go, you have a story. What happened? And you know, we don't have that success story like Tina and Kelly do. I mean, what was that? $799,779 was their check for the year.
Yeah, but guess what? That's not the story people want to hear right now.
It is not, because people can't relate to
Yep.
$10,000, right?
People want to know how you're like them or how you
Thank
were
you.
like them, as the case might be.
Yeah.
And,
And-
and so make your story relatable to somebody else. Like I'm the guy who could never take advice from anybody and I always tried to do it all on my own. Then one day I found out I was leading myself down the wrong path. And then you just go from there.
Isn't
Well,
that
you know,
interesting?
I think it's like Sherry says, and she knows me very well. She says, there are times when you have to listen instead of speak. Is that correct?
Oh, Anthony, thank you.
Anthony, I love you. And you're just exactly right.
We love you, Anthony. I know, poor Anthony. Can I say something, Anthony? It won't
Sure.
hurt your feelings, I promise.
Go ahead.
okay, I'm going to use Anthony as an example. Okay, because we've talked about this several times. And
Yep.
Anthony was in a previous company, which I'm sure a lot of you know, the Amway thing, blah, blah, blah. And Anthony had a need to have to want to go back to that and tell everybody out about that and go on and on. Am I right, Anthony? Right?
Yes.
There came a time when not just Anthony, but anybody else, when you talk about the past, that's for you. That's up here in your head. Nobody that you're talking to not only knows about that, but they probably don't care about it either. And I don't mean that I didn't care about it, Anthony. I did care. But when you're trying to express something really awesome to somebody, but you keep going back, you keep going back.
Right.
I would tell
Yeah.
you what, Anthony? What would I tell you?
You would say, let the past die. Not necessarily like that, but you would say the past is done and gone. So nobody really wants to hear that, well, I tried 7 different companies and 6 of them failed or whatever. Nobody wants to hear that. If they ask you, have you done this kind of stuff before? Now, what I tell them is, yes, I have. Well, what have you learned? I've learned the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, and you also learn that there's people in here that do a lot. And whether that's the same as you're going to do or medium or even more, you have somebody to follow, and we pull people up with us until we can let them go because they're going to be a leader themselves. That's all we want to do, you guys, is pull you up far enough that we talked about this last night on training, that you are on your own. And I am so looking forward to a bunch of you doing that. You have no idea.
Well,
So,
you know, here's something I want to share this. Everybody knows this, but I kind of learned this from my upline Frank, and I learned this from Sherry too, kind of a little bit. You know, my wife says to me, you know, she says, I'm not good at, you know, trying to, you know, get people interested or, you know, I don't know how to do any of that. And I said, honey, you just got done telling me that the lady at the school that you teach at was outside sneezing up a storm. And she said, well, yeah, but I didn't, you know, I didn't want to bother her. And then when I explained to her about, you know, with her swollen eye and how she was taking the APL products and how her eye just shrunk down to size and she felt 100% better, I said, listen, do you understand you have a story? And she said, oh, yeah, I get that. And I said, that's right. So you don't have to try to explain to this lady for hours on end. All you got to do is say, hey, I take this all natural product. You're not trying to get her into the business. You're
right.
trying to show her a natural way. Later on, I told her, this lady's going to go, how do I get more of this? And
Yeah.
then when she wants more of it, that's how you do it.
Yeah. And Anthony, thank you so much for doing that, because people don't know when they're sharing something. I don't think it does with most people, because I know a lot of you on here, that's the only thing on your mind when you're talking to somebody about this product is, how can I get them to purchase it, right? How can I get them to try it? But when you share it with them, something magical happens. And there's, by the way, speaking of something magical, I have to tell you what I was shared with by Yen Dugard. Is that how you say his name, Ron? From Denmark? Yen. It's Jan, but it's pronounced Yen. And he said this morning on a message to me, he goes, by the way, did you know that your ALT, by the way, he does holistic healing and he's a healer. The guy is just phenomenal. He said, did you know that when you take the ALT and you have it in your mouth and you breathe in, while you're sucking on it, just breathe in and take those negative ions into your lungs, it works even better. I thought, well, that makes sense. So what did I do?
didn't know that.
Right when I got to Dr. Lucas's, I said, I want to ask you something. because he does the whole spectrum. If I have an alt in my mouth, which by the way, I did at the time, and these negative ions are all over in there, and I'm breathing in through my mouth and sucking it into my lungs and like holding it for 3 seconds, is that going to make that product even more powerful? And he goes, oh, absolutely. I'm sharing that. So you guys, this is a doctor telling me this now, not only a holistic guy, but a doctor telling me this. So I was pretty stoked about that. So if it works with ALT for breathing in the lungs, Randy, I mean, I know you're dealing with those issues right now. ALT, I think, is going to be a pretty huge factor in our sharing list now.
Couple times a day.
Isn't that amazing? Who would have thought of that? Anybody else?
All I can tell you is that's going to be pretty powerful when you kick the air in with it.
Oh, yeah, we get air, right?
Yeah. So, oh, by the way, you guys got the thing on air. Now you do realize air, and they're so lucky in Denmark, they actually have it in their back office, is not available. Air and Happy, HPY, is not available to us yet. There's still some certifications in 2 states that need to be done in the United States for HPY. And air is the packaging, and the wording on the packaging needs to get done. That's all that they're waiting for. And they should have that here for us. It also needs to get certified. But that event is in Russia, and they always have everything ready for Russia, out there, handed out and everything ready to go. And it's actually in their back office, not the air yet though. So that's coming to us. You guys just hold tight. But didn't we all expect that HPY and AIR would be in our back office today?
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron. This
That was-
one's for Ron. Since I'm a commercial driver, so is John. Maybe you can get some of the team over there on the other side of the pond there to find out if that shows up in your analysis or not on the HPY.
Oh, we already know it doesn't.
It does not?
Nope, doesn't. They've already tested it. No, in
Okay.
fact, it's certified for sports people to use it. Is that the NFS? Yeah. It's
So
all,
Daniel, you drive a big rig, Daniel?
Yes, I do.
It
Oh,
doesn't have
uh-huh.
TCH, so, or
So
THC.
does John.
Yeah, because hemp and pot are 2 different plants.
Right, but
So-
hemp can still spill off some of those metabolites, and so that's what I'm more concerned
it's
about.
already been proven, it's already been tested, it's already been certified for sports.
it
So
doesn't-
I'm sure you guys can do it. It won't show up in a testing.
It doesn't have the
I
THC.
have some questions for you, Daniel, later on about that.
Okay, thanks.
Christie's husband he drives truck. He drives an 18-wheeler. Okay.
Well, between
Okay.
John and I think we can get you all the info you need.
Yeah,
Cool.
look at that truck there. Is that your truck, John? That's amazing. Is that Daniel? You see that? You're muted. You muted yourself.
Looks like a Christmas tree rig. Is that one of the Christmas tree rigs, John?
Yeah, there's a city in Vacaville this morning. It's a 45-foot white fur.
Yeah, you delivered the Christmas tree to San
That
Francisco.
one went to Vacaville.
Ah, did the big mall there?
Yep.
No,
So
it's
we-
a city tree down in Old Vacaville.
All right. Well, yeah, I remember you sent me the picture on that, and I'm like, well, there goes, I thought you were going to Las Vegas again, but
Well, that's why John got involved to begin with. He took a slide.
okay, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight on another Camp Chair Crew. And I will have this recording up with all your hands up saying, I promise. And let's get those stories going, you guys. Anything that we can do to help this team, the family that we are, get more things going, the better. I know, by the way, Anthony, I did speak with Frank today, and Kelly Rodman has just joined the team as well. And I think if she was able to, she would have been on tonight, because she was with us previously. and she's able to jump on and get going again. So we'll be glad to see her. And anybody else have anything else that they want to bring up? Hi, Clee.
Well, I was going to ask you something. They're going to have this thing next year in Moscow in November.
Right. It's always November, around November 11th. Yes.
So it should be what, about 30 below zero?
No,
No.
no, no, no. It was literally, it was raining over there. So it had to be at least above 35. So, and the other thing too, remember everybody, there is a super duper special going on right now for anybody coming in at the 100 to 400 level, and anybody that comes in at 600 or 1800, and anybody that signs in at 3000 or upgrades. There's 100% product, 150% product, and the product goes to the sponsor as well, a percentage. Now, the free product to the sponsor will be done 30 days after the person has initially made their order. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there is a massive amount of helicopters going over my house right now. It's a lot of them. Sounds like 4 of them. Massive amount, 4.
They're coming for your taxes.
No, that's paid. So paid. So paid. And this year, I think they're going to owe me. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so special is going on. And that's till the 21st, you guys. So that's only a 7-day stretch there from today till the 21st. And then we also have another corporate, anybody reaching corporate director, managing director till the end of the month will be invited. Well, anybody can go, but your portion of that will be paid for. We are getting a mansion in Las Vegas. I think it's 10-bedroom mansion in Las Vegas. So I'll see you, Ron. I'll see you, Anthony, in Las Vegas, the January 11th through the 14th.
Is Anthony from Las Vegas too?
It is. Yeah. And I know when I'm there, I'm going to be looking you guys up. I know that because I'm going to stay an extra couple days and visit with my son that's going to come up from Flagstaff. So I'll be there the 11th through the 16th of January.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. All right, you guys. Anything that anybody else wants to bring up? Randy, I'm glad to see that you're on camera. You're looking good, guy. I know you were feeling awful. Nobody, nothing else?
No, can you get me Daniel's phone number?
Daniel,
After you're done.
if you
After we're
want,
done?
Daniel, you want to throw it in the chat? Give everybody your phone number, Daniel. You can private message Ron if you want in the chat.
I don't care. Anybody wants it, they
Yeah,
can have
I
it.
know.
Yeah,
You know,
I do.
and Daniel is so helpful, you guys. If you take his number down, he's more than willing to help you all out. He's there in Redding, California, my hometown. This guy used to change my tires on my car when I was a senior in high school.
You're kidding.
Nope, true story, isn't it, Daniel?
But it took her 50 years to say I love you.
Wow. Wow. 50 years.
Yeah, we go back to what, in fact, I think I've known John Mahan since I was in 3rd grade in Reading. And Daniel came shortly after that. So,
Well, maybe a little more than shortly.
well, okay, 10 years. High school. But
High school. Yep.
anyway, you guys have a really good night. You know what I could do here? I don't think I need to be recording this anymore.